My father said, sorry, you can't go. And, tears were flowing down my cheeks.
You see number of caddy turned pros that have come.
Somebody told me 20,000, 25,000 rupees bags are starting, and then, you have the English willow and so on and so forth.
Hi guys, really excited to meet and chat with Amandeep Johl. He's the CEO of PGTI. He's been an accomplished golfer, a coach, a mentor, represented India in Asian Tour, European Tour, wears many hats, and has been a big contributor to the world of golf in India. Can't wait to chat him up. Let's go.
Chalo. Hi, thanks guys, and thank you Amandeep for joining us today on this podcast of 72 The League, a podcast that we've both, were building up to for talking about the game of golf, talking about how this beautiful game is going to get bigger and stronger, and it can't be better than to get the CEO of PGTI as a guest celebrity to us. Yeah, somebody who's had a great journey in the round of golf, right? You've been a winner of amateur championship, then professional golfer for a long time. For me, bigger connect is you've been an engineer and still being a pro golfer. Thereafter, you've been a National League champion coach, mentor, and then for the last so many years, giving back by, the whole, being the president, the CEO of PGTI and building that whole game. So thank you. Thanks for coming in today. And we'd like to start this whole podcast by all of our friends and viewers wanting to understand why golf. What was it that kind of made it, right? It wasn't a sport which a lot of people took to it early. The era that we all were, right? We're pretty much around the same era. So why and what kind of build this up to, us sitting here today is what you're going to be talking about.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you, Samant, for having me here. I'm not much of a talker because all my life I've played golf, and golf you keep quiet, and so this is different for me. So podcast is something which is very different to me. But yes, I think golf is. I think I'm very grateful that I'm into this wonderful sport. I think it's the best sport in the world. And I think not because I played, and I think everybody in this world should play golf at some point in their lives, whether as children. I think I believe in it so much that I feel that if you teach your child swimming, you must teach them golf, because it teaches you so much about life. It's incredible, and for me, it has been the greatest gift. I've done golf at every level. Right from club golfer to junior playing for India, amateur playing for India, playing professional golf. Except for playing on the PGA Tour, I think I played in Europe a few seasons, mainly in Asia. Became national amateur champion. So pretty much done everything. Then got into coaching, and then became the highest level coach within India. Coached the national team in 2015-16. And then became a teaching staff of the National Golf Academy of India, and then fortunate to get into administration. So, I've done pretty much everything that golf has to offer, from playing to teaching to administration. Just grateful to the old man up there that, he's been kind to me. So it's been a long journey.
So Amandeep, tell me, I've often wondered about this. What's special about Chandigarh? I think Chandigarh and golf have a very special relationship. The amount of golfing talent that Chandigarh produces, maybe now it is changing, but in the last 2 decades, there is some magnet there, right? There is something special happening there.
I think it's a very, first, Chandigarh is a small town, and, it was full of students. Fortunately, my father was involved in building the golf course in Chandigarh, way back in the 70s. He was a horticulturist and landscapist. So right from 64, 65 onwards, Chandigarh used to be actually a desert when we grew up. And, it was almost like a part of a riverbed or full sand. And, we used to get these dust storms and the sky used to become red. So you have no idea. I don't know if you've seen pictures of Chandigarh in the 60s when Corbusier designed it. It was an absolute desert with no trees.
Oh.
And my father was involved in the landscaping and horticulture of Chandigarh right from the beginning.
Wow.
So all the avenues that you see, we pretty much remember which avenue was planted on which days, weekends of how my father used to do it.
Wow.
The rose garden, the bougainvillea garden and all of that. So that was the connect of, he had a green hand, so to say. And then a bunch of people wanted him to put together the golf course in Chandigarh. And we used to live in Sector 7 and the golf course was
Right,
200
pretty much
yards,
there, yeah.
just a 5-iron shot from the house.
Nice. Depends
So
who's
they
hitting
said,
it.
well, if we want Mr. Johl to build the golf course, he better start playing.
Wow.
So that's his introduction into the game of golf. And, we used to walk. So the golf course was 200 yards and the school was another 200 yards. So the golf course was in between the school and the house. So if we went
come
to
via
school,
that, yeah.
first we went to the golf course and then went to school, and then coming back, we went back to the golf course. And if my mother had to find me, she had to go to the golf course and find me somewhere there because we would miss lunch or something or the other, or we hadn't done our homework.
But tell me, no pressure from parents after becoming a mechanical engineer and then to, pursue
Mechanical
this.
engineer happened much later.
Okay, okay.
You see, in our times, if kid played sport, it was a complete no.
Done.
They said,
Absolutely,
"Pehle
right?
pehle padhai karo."
Pehle padhai
Correct.
karo. Yeah, correct.
So parents and that, they were very clear.
Right.
So anytime my grades had dropped, that was a thing that your golf clubs will be locked. You cannot go to the golf course. So you had to keep a certain grade in St. John's.
Nice.
We used to get a monthly system of grading, which was a very satisfactory gold card, then satisfactory blue card. I still remember pink card for fair, and the unsatisfactory was a black and white card, which was a complete no-no. So if I didn't get a very satisfactory card, my clubs were locked.
Grounded.
But engineering, right? You were doing engineering parallelly. I think you turned pro, or you turned pro once you finished your engineering.
Yes, I started playing golf. I mean, started competing at the club level at age 13.
Wow.
Then I came to Delhi to play a few junior tournaments. And very interestingly, there were so many events in my life which if I wasn't there for that period of time, probably my whole life would have changed.
Wow.
So even golf, or introduction to competitive golf and playing on the national level, there was a gentleman called Mr. Kalsi.
Yes.
So my father said, sorry, I can't afford to send you to national tournaments because, government job and all of that. So I was, I had prepared to play this Northern India juniors in Delhi. And, I was standing on the tee and, my father said, sorry, you can't go. And, tears were flowing down my cheeks. And anyway, I went to play golf and this gentleman walked up to me. He's 72 years old. Drove in his white silver Corolla. And he says, son, can I join you? I said, okay. And we played 9 holes and he says, oh, you play so great. Why don't you come and play in Delhi? And my
Tears started
coming down and saying, my father wouldn't send me. He says, come, I'll come to your father and I'll take care of him.
Right.
So if that gentleman wouldn't have come at that time and I wouldn't have met him, probably I wouldn't have been competing at the national level.
No, well, like you said, Almighty has been great. Blessings
very
have been great. But then this whole, that was an era when a lot of golf was being played either from the army side, right? There was a lot of army kids coming around. 90s had started to produce slowly pros. But one of the big things was that golf was still it still is a challenge in terms of number of players. But that time, even smaller, very small number of people. I think the most of it was coming in because of the army, right?
Yeah.
So what was it that was kind of, making, because again, you're doing an engineering. Our time, it was like, do an engineer, get a good job, do an MBA, right? So what was it that kind of kept you motivated? Because it is a tough sport in terms of financial, early days, you have to travel a lot, right? And it has to come from within, right? And once you,
So that big influence, one was Mr. Kalsi. he made sure that I
You
was taken
participate,
care
yeah.
of playing tournaments. And Milkha Singh, backdoor neighbor, house number 59, we were 61.
Wow.
So that motivation, to become a world champion and do something in your life. So Milkha uncle was a great motivation. Mrs. Milkha Singh and my mother went to the same college. So Milkha uncle was a huge motivation. And then Jeev, he was a few years younger than me. And so we were the two which formed the Indian team from Chandigarh.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
So the rest of the two were from anywhere else in the country, but Jeev and me were constantly as an amateur team, whether junior or amateur.
Wow.
So for a good 5 years, 5 years, that was the amateur team. I mean, we were the top two from India, so to say, in amateur golf.
Right.
And engineering happened because I think by that time I had already made up my mind
Oh, okay.
that I am going to turn pro.
Nice.
And engineering was like, okay, I have to, no, yeah, exactly. Tick the box that my father said, listen, boss, you got to complete your degree.
Yeah.
And, service background, he said, degree to zaruri hai.
Ye
That
chale na
insurance.
chale,
I
there
think
has
one
to be
of
something to fall
that
back on.
insurance-
Similar interview Rahul Dravid gave once, like the engineering, Kumble engineering, but that cricket, parents at that time were happy. You've ticked that out, and then
So
you
I
can do
handed him
whatever.
the degree in 1990 and I said, sir, thank you very much. Now allow me to play professional golf.
Phenomenal.
So he said, I'm mad. So I said, doesn't matter, but let me try. And I still remember I went to Jaipur in 91 and I won my first tournament. And that time it was Browns at Rambagh Golf Club. And I shot 19 under par over
Wow.
4 days. That was a
Wow.
tournament
That's
record, which
probably a record
wasn't
for a long
broken.
time,
For many,
yeah.
many years, it wasn't broken. I shot 19 under par.
Wow.
And my first prize was 14,178 rupees. So I called up my father. I said, Dad, I won the tournament. He said, how much money did you make? I said, 14,000. He says, you must be mad. He says, your friends are making $250,000 in America and you can go there and,
Yeah.
be employed in a good company. I said, who cares? You know what? My picture's in the newspaper.
Sure.
Yes, but I think this is one of the very important reason I think that sports didn't pick up in India at that era, right? Because the whole focus, obviously, the middle class was to get the income. We were coming out of India was coming into this whole economic turnaround. But that's why it is very, very interesting that you still stayed on with the sport,
Yeah.
right? Because 90s is when, the whole 91, the economic cycle, parents were more worried whether children will have the jobs. You had all of that mandal and everything happening. What kept you going? Because again, we see this now, even now, professional golf is even more, people don't realize and they say, oh, it's just a sport. But when you realize that a professional golf, every week you're traveling, you're playing over the week, then making it to the weekend is when you actually make money. You're funding the trip. They're growing. But then what kept you going? Because I think that's something which is how the inspiration for the new generation is going to come.
In India, without realizing, public sector plays a huge role in sports people's lives.
Maybe we don't give them that value.
ONGC, Colonel Wahi got me as employed into ONGC even while I was doing my engineering. Never before.
Wow.
Wow.
So I got a job as a gazetted officer in ONGC when I was in third year mechanical engineering.
Nice.
And then when I left ONGC in 93, SAIL picked me up, Steel Authority. So SAIL was supporting me playing professional golf. And I had an excellent arrangement with them that, they would allow me to play abroad as much as I wanted. And they would fund a certain amount percentage. So, if your ticket and your hotel is taken care of, then half the pressure is gone.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So public sector in India, I promise you, the oil companies, the SAIL, ONGC, I mean, I think most of these companies, in those days, Air India and State Bank of India, all these cricketers, let me tell you, all of them were employed by public sector organizations. And I think that's the backbone of, in the 80s and 90s, sport, whoever became exceptional was supported by one of these public sector companies.
I think very less is said about this fact.
I promise
right?
you that.
Because,
and they don't
PSUs
get
need
enough
to
credit,
Yeah.
but they have supported golf. Private sector will never support golf or any sport. The public sector and now the government obviously, but now is when private sector has started to come into sport.
Right.
But in the good old 90s and 80s, it was the public sector. and we're thankful to them.
It's like the back marker, and if you have the back
Absolutely.
marker in your team, then you
Then
play
you have a game.
aggressive golf.
Yes.
Go for the
You have
birdies.
somebody-
I'm so grateful to Sail.
I think it's a very important point, and I think I'm happy that you brought it up. Whatever little this podcast will go, wherever it will travel, I think it is important that this issue gets magnified. I think it needs more promotion.
Samant, you have to thank everybody,
Yeah.
and you have to realize that what has got you here.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know, and
Every
there are,
step.
you know, every step has played. Milkha Uncle has played a role. Mr.
Correct.
Kalsi has played a role. Colonel Wahi has played a role. Sail has played a role. You know, the Secretary Steel, Mr. Manoranjan, Dr. Manoranjan played a role.
Yeah.
He started the Sail Open,
Correct.
a professional golf tournament on the Asian Tour with $400,000 prize money. Never before heard in
Indian golf.
that a public sector was sponsoring professional golf.
Super.
And he took the stand. I mean, you know, he was bold enough, and Mr. Rungta was the chairman, and you know, that was a great team. And we started the Sail Open, and ran for 7 years.
Wow.
Longest running Asian Tour event in India. So
So as they say, there are no coincidences, right? Everything is happening thanks to
We don't know.
the right timing. We're only following a path.
I
Right?
guess,
The
I
vision and the big growth is very good. So you know, what he's also about to say is that this whole concept of the this PSUs, and then now this sport has to grow, right? This golf has to grow. Golf has to get built. It's a sport which is now started to see the tailwinds, right? What is it that you think has started to happen that suddenly it's being more talked about? It's started to kind of get noticed, because for a long time this was as an elite sport, or only a few people will play. Where do you think, because you've seen this sport and its true the upbringing in the last 20 years, what do you think has started to kind of make changes?
there are a lot of factors, I think. One is, I mean, we have our president, Mr. Kapil Dev.
Yeah.
Taking to this sport is huge.
Absolutely.
You know, he's a huge factor.
Outstanding.
Global Indians. You know, global Indians earlier used to be the biggest savers. You know, whoever NRI was a saver.
Right.
Because he was in the 90s or 80s or whatever, whoever went abroad was only taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
In the 2000s, they have become spenders. And what have they taken up to is golf.
Golf.
So wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the Indians now are members of country clubs, and they are looked up to, and they fly in their private jets, and they are invited to the best of the functions or whatever. In our days, hardly anybody used to play golf. Now you go abroad, you go to any country club, there are probably 20% Indian members. And I think that is what is changing. Indians are becoming spenders. We were never spenders. And golf and spending resonates.
Absolutely. Great
People are
affinity.
now taking, if you have a birthday party, 50th birthday party, he rounds up about 20 of his friends and says, let's go to Thailand or Indonesia or
Vietnam.
somewhere, or Vietnam or Malaysia to play golf.
Absolutely.
Whoever heard of that?
Correct.
And then another thing that has happened in the last few years is, after the IPL, I think that league thing
Right.
has brought this game to the forefront.
Right.
So the last 10 years, with the Royal Calcutta putting up the league, the members have started rallying around this game.
Correct.
And that is the growth which has happened. So a lot of factors
Yeah.
which have grown. DLF has played a huge role.
Absolutely.
I promise you, nobody ever thought that real estate is something which could be completely,
Built around a golf
built
course.
around a golf course.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
We used to say it that, wherever we go abroad, there's a real golf course and there's
And there is a real estate.
But nobody really believed it till DLF said, okay, guys, let me show you how it is done.
Absolutely.
And,
that too
how
at a-
is he done it.
Absolutely.
Hats off to DLF, and they have showcased that this is how real estate can be developed.
And I think at a global level, anybody who comes from abroad now and gets to see that infrastructure, he marvels at the fact that, this is one of the beautiful and prettiest courses
Absolutely.
that they've played out. That,
One
the
of the
whole
toughest
experience.
holes on the European
And
tour.
I would be, doing a disservice to this game if I didn't mention Mr. Munjal.
I was about to come.
Mr. Munjal has been the backbone of growth of golf.
Yeah.
Right from the Hero Honda Masters to, he's such a lover of this game. Hero Honda Masters, when nobody used to think. Then he took over the Indian Open, and he has just kept on and on and on. And, he sponsored everybody who went and played abroad. So Mr. Munjal has got a huge role. So like I
Absolutely.
said, so many pillars actually make the game.
Right.
But somewhere we need the government support.
Yeah.
That is where which is lacking.
Correct.
We have a huge population of bureaucrats playing.
Yeah.
Few politicians. Yesterday I was in Mumbai, and Mr. Rahul Narvekar, who's the Speaker of the Assembly in
Right.
Maharashtra, he's an avid golfer. So you need many more politicians to be. I wish the sports minister becomes a golfer,
Right.
and everybody starts to realize the potential of this game.
Yeah.
And that is when it's going to grow bigger.
And I think to add to what Amit is asking, I feel there is another very important thing that's happening, which is the demystification of this sport.
Yeah.
I think people used to think that this is a rich man's sport.
And old man.
An old man's sport, elitist sport, But I think that reputation also has changed. You see number of caddy turned pros that have come and how they have changed. See, when somebody moves from that segment of the society and starts making money, he's actually changing next 3 generations. Because now you're suddenly reaching here and you're saying, okay, I will put my kids into a good school, I will provide them a good education, I'll give them a pathway to better life. So I think that is the other part. The point that you meant about Mr. Munjal is also very interesting. You talked about SAIL and PSU and how they support it. The kind of opposition that he got in spite of being a private sector and a listed company, shareholders have asked him, where is Hero Honda, where is golf, your listed company, you're allocating resources. But like you said, I think the leader there has to have the character, has to have the courage and the conviction to say, this is something that there's like a corporate social responsibility. Absolutely. I need to give back to the sport, which is indirectly creating so many employment opportunities. It is not just the player. I think you are actually, impacting lives of many more. So, Aman, if I just go back a little bit, I think your journey from the player and then breaking out, I think 20 Asian tours, 3 European tours, you played.
3 seasons.
Three seasons you played.
Seasons
20 seasons in Asian tour, 3 in European tour. And then thereafter, this whole thing of giving back, to say I will become a teacher or a mentor to, and coach is one part. There are a lot of kids that one meets who says how you have paid it forward. What Mr. Kalsi did to you, you have also been doing it.
I don't know. Let me tell you, Samant, I never think that I'm paying back. I promise you, I never feel that I'm paying back. I'm just doing, this game intrigues me so much. I took to teaching because, I felt there were certain things in my game which I wasn't enjoying. I said, you know what, I need to get to teaching. Of course, I love to give back. I mean, it's not a money-making thing for me. So I became a teacher because the intrigue. And having a scientific, or not scientific, maybe math and physics.
Yeah.
And a little bit of, being a little technical.
Somewhere engineering plays a role.
Somewhere. So I said,
Never forget.
I think I could get it.
Yeah.
So that's why I became a teacher and, tried to learn many things. Even administrator, it just fell in my lap. I've done administration a little bit before because in 2004, I was one of the people who broke away from the Asian PGA and launched the Asian Tour, which is a player's body now.
Correct.
So I wrote the Articles of Association. So I understand how it is to administer a little bit. I'm not saying that I know too much. So I promise you, I'm not thinking about giving back, but I'm just so intrigued by this wonderful sport that I love to keep doing different things.
So let me change the word. I don't say it is giving back, but I think it's paying forward.
Paying forward.
Paying forward, and maybe somebody else also does it, and it becomes a movement. I think let's put it that way.
I love the game so much. I feel the scope of this game is so much. I think India should have another 500 golf courses and about 50 million more golfers.
I agree.
And it should become accessible, and it's very possible. I think we are just not thinking that way.
Correct.
A golf course brings $2 billion to the economy. Why is nobody thinking like that?
Yeah.
DLF has shown it, and so many other golf courses have shown it. In the south, Prestige Golf
is done, right?
I mean, they've shown it that, a city like Johannesburg, Greater Johannesburg area, there are 47 golf courses in the city of Johannesburg. Pattaya has 29.
Shenzhen has a guy who has made what 27 golf courses
some
as an
say,
ecosystem,
yeah,
right?
unbelievable.
but
Mission
one
Hills,
of the
Mission
I was
Hills.
reading
one of
somewhere
the-
that US has more golf courses than McDonald's outlets.
yes,
Well, people
US is
keep throwing these numbers. I mean, I don't think that's true.
But one of the big factor I think is also like you were teaching, right? And I think one of the big factor what Saman said is that people feel it's expensive sport. I think that also has to break down, right? Today I was talking to somebody, how much is a cricket bat worth? The cricket gear worth. I think those days are gone when there used to be one bat, one ball, and everybody used to be playing in the colony, right? Somebody told me 20,000, 25,000 rupees bags are starting, and then you have the English willow and so on and so forth. While in golf, we've had kits which have been used for a long period of time. Then I've moved up and then I've given it to somebody else. I think this is also a sport where it's not about, oh, I'm using a reusable product. I think somewhere those mysteries or those mystics also have to start breaking it down. And I'm sure you were realizing it when you were teaching the youngsters. Because nowadays, when we see that more and more youngsters are interested, one of the first questions everybody keeps asking is, how do I get the equipment? It's going to be expensive. But do you think it's genuinely as expensive while all of the sports have gone up? Because I can understand during that era that there were very few people.
I don't think it's expensive. I don't think it's too expensive. It's more not available so easily, so to say. Inaccessible.
Yeah.
But also, let me tell you, Amit, golf clubs and golfers, especially members of golf clubs in our country, philanthropy is so big.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, even if you show a bit of talent, the members will come forward and saying, here's a dozen golf balls, here's a club. I want to go and play a tournament. Here you go. I've been part of it. I've taken to that philanthropy, Mr. Kalsi, philanthropy, sale. They were coming forward to help you, even if you showed a little bit of talent. So I don't think it's an expensive sport for somebody who wants to take it up seriously. For parents, you'll find somebody or the other helping you. So there is a lot of philanthropy in golf. And if you find that your child is, I'm telling every parent out there, if you feel your child has half the talent, just send him to the golf course. He'll find his way out.
So any example that you have which actually people can connect with, right? Which in your history that you've seen that, it didn't need somebody to just have the money or the connects or the know-how.
Shubham Jaglan.
Right.
Look at this
What
kid,
an example.
Shubham Jaglan. He was from, village
Near Sonipat.
near Sonipat. Somebody started some golf program. He loved it, saw it on YouTube or something like that, picked it up. The Golf Foundation picked him, brought him to Delhi, put him in a public school, Lakshman Public School. Then we sent him to America, to University of Florida in southern Florida. And now he's a professional golfer. Yeah. And he conducts, I promise you, he conducts a press conference better than you and me combined or anybody. Fantastic. So that's a great story.
That is a great story, right? That is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Rakshit
have to be
Dahiya,
only the
he used to be, and that's that little kid who lived in Shapur Jat. He used to come to the City Fort driving range when I was running it. And I said, he should be given free because he swung the club and I said, whoa, that's beautiful, that's natural.
Yeah.
Supported him, brought him to Delhi Golf Club, got him into the Golf Foundation. Now we've got him into a full-fledged university, full scholarship university in America. And, he called me the other day, he can't come to India. And, I want him to become tougher. And I said, sorry, you're not coming back home. And he says, sir, it's minus 15 degrees. I said, doesn't matter. Go to the gym, start working out. He says, can you send me some cash? So I just called up a friend of mine. He says, sure, I'll just wire him $500. So, there is so much of philanthropy in and around golf. People are wanting to do good things for people and for when it matters.
Yeah.
And now you've got that opportunity by leading these professional golfers as a CEO. It's a great responsibility, I think, more than opportunity. Because I think PGTI has done a stupendous job of maintaining and building this whole, 25 years now of professional golf in India. How do you see this whole responsibility position? Because now it's about all of these professional golfers look up to you. of taking it forward and taking it leaps and bounds ahead.
Like I said, it's still not a responsibility. I'm just loving it.
Right.
And I'm fortunate to have the right people.
Yeah.
My main idea, Amit, when I said was get the right people around me. You see, and once you get them all together, we've got Mr. Kapil Dev, there's no match to him.
Right.
He gives his personal time. I just hold his hand and I said, sir, please come here and please come there. And he comes.
Yeah.
And very happily, and now Mr. Amitabh Kant has joined. I mean, what a legendary bureaucrat. What a great vision to, he's done everything that is. He is the global face of Indian bureaucrats abroad, everywhere. And, he says that India is going to be the number 3 economy in the world. And he believes it. So we've got a person like him, loves the game. I think Mrs. Kiran Nadar is going to join us on the board. She's already on the board, so to say. We've got Shantanu Narayan,
Yeah.
CEO and chairman of Adobe. We've got Nikesh Arora, Palo Alto Networks. We've got Mr. Bakshi from the whatever. They're all advising and they're putting and giving their time. So I feel that if we get a whole bunch of like-minded people, the golf is going to go north anyway. And professional, I mean, the guys of today are lucky that they've got this bunch together.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to make sure that this bunch is working together. That's all my job is.
And guiding them right? Because I think what you've learned in your history is that what you said, the PSU is supported, is why the corporate has a big role to play. And I think we were just discussing earlier that how this whole concept of leagues has changed the way the sports are being done. I think initially sports was it was a separate entity from corporate. What leagues has done is brought both of them together because we realize that both need each other. It's not only that the sports need corporates. For corporates also, this is now becoming like a new ventures, right? It's no longer about, I'm doing it as a CSR project. Now it's about building, right? And I think IPL has been a great example doing that, where you realize that this is not only one sport company, but it's the share of voice. Most of these corporates are building their ecosystem around it. So we've had that discussion, but I'd really like to know that you've been seeing leagues happen in various sports. What is it that kind of started to make you feel that this is the time when golf also, needs to move in and start creating its own league?
So let me tell you why I feel where is that league concept? Yes, comparing leagues and IPL, I don't think it really is a good example because IPL is something which is okay. What IPL taught was that instead of just 11 players, you could have so many more. So many more players got a chance to compete.
Yeah.
So the tournament was bigger. Earlier, if you didn't play for India, you were nobody.
Correct.
Ranji was also, thanks to Mr. Bindra, that Ranji players started getting some money.
Right.
But actually, when IPL came, is when, and before that ICL, is that you were able to bring in a bigger bunch of players, and your bench strength became stronger for the Indian team. So that was the basis of IPL, I would say.
Correct.
As far as other sport is concerned, I think somewhere the federations who were controlling this game, leagues gave it a chance where they said, listen, boss, I don't need the federation to do anything. At the club level, I will run my own
Correct.
league.
Yeah.
So it builds in camaraderie. It gives you a sense of ownership. It gives you a sense that I can do what I feel like, even at a smaller level. So I feel that that's what it brought the club culture together. Otherwise, golf is so individual. You and me and one more chap play a 4-ball. We come in the morning. Sometimes you play a morning golfer, afternoon golfer doesn't know each other.
Yeah.
So suddenly the leagues brought in that camaraderie. 400, 500 golfers got together.
We played as teams, we were friends.
We
became
friends, socials, and the
Evenings.
halla gulla,
The
and
party
evenings
after.
and party. So there are a lot of factors what brought the leagues together. And the federations played an important role because they were controlling the sport so much, whether it's football or kabaddi or... So the corporate said, well, I have no chance of getting into that sport.
Correct.
So a kabaddi league came because there was no kabaddi federation.
Yeah.
And the football league because the football federation is somehow not being able to grow. I wouldn't say anything negative.
Right.
I mean, everybody's trying to do the best they can, whether they can do the administration or whatever. So the private person thought that they could come in, the Jindals and the Airtel and the so and DLF. Everybody thought that they could administer or become part of the growth story of sport.
Absolutely.
I think that was the advent of leagues.
Yeah.
Why in golf, I think league is going to do very well, and it hasn't been tried so much, especially professional golf, is that golf is a very individual sport. And herein you get a chance that 10 golfers in a team, especially the way we've designed it. I don't know if it's a perfect formula, but it's some start. And we learn from our mistakes, I feel.
Absolutely.
I think 10 people rooting for each other,
Right.
working together as a team.
Right.
They may be competing each other on a stroke play event, but here they are working together as a team. Maybe those franchisee owners want them to play the same jersey throughout the year. You never know, maybe. So you will have 30 tournaments of the PGTI having a bunch of golfers playing in the same jersey. I think be
amazing.
Never. Live Golf tried it.
Yes.
But I think Live is so different because they're golfers from different part of the world, and nobody really connects with. City-based, country-based makes more sense.
Correct.
When you are golfers from all over the world, I don't know. Maybe
a couple of teams in there have also got
agendas are very different. They are at a different evolution level. We have to make a start. So I think this is a great start.
I think what we have taken, the first few steps are phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things that you mentioned is also the format. At what, to my mind, this will also do is not just the team, but the team also needs to now strategize to say, what skill set do I need to now put on the ground for which format? Right? And I think that level of strategization is also something unique. I'm hoping that this prepares them for bigger challenges at an Asian or a European level, prepares them mentally in terms of how to compete at those levels. So clearly, you're right that I think league is an SPV of sorts, because the federation has a different agenda, players have a different agenda, corporate has a different agenda. I think this is a great amalgamation where, all these three stakeholders can come in and build something of value.
I think it's a good format. I think it's interesting. It's singles, it's four ball, it's foursome, something like a Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
What I'm liking is that we've stuck to professional golf.
Yes.
Because nobody really wants to watch an amateur golfer play. There is a huge tournament, the Alfred Dunhill Cup. It's a great place to be in for the amateurs to play alongside professionals. But nobody really wants to watch an amateur golfer play.
Yeah.
And I'm sure half the amateurs don't want to see themselves play.
Correct.
They like to be in the golf course.
For that, we have our programs are going to be happening where they're going to be a part of that story. I think let's also understand that leagues, and especially in golf, you've been sharing and we've been sharing, the journey of the professionals will only grow in two parts. One is they get good corporate support.
Sure.
It's very, very important that these youngsters come in the eyes of the corporate. They need more Mr. Kalsis, right? They need more people to get out there who, when they see them, and I think that's where the broadcasting has to grow. We really are working on a good way of these players to be covered. I think the other big thing is that when you work as a team, there is everything that owners also bring in. These are owners who are not just coming in because, there's money. They're coming in because they believe in the sport. All the owners that we are getting, we are being very privileged that all of them are golfers themselves or have been associated, and they wanted to bring it back. So they'll also bring a lot of sort of support to these players in terms of support staff. I think one of the big things this PGTI is doing is getting their players a support far beyond. Because when you're finally going to go out there and be part of the Asian Tour, the European Tour, where other countries are getting this already, I think it's time that we also build that up. Don't you think? That's also going to be a massive up with because when these owners come, they're not only going to be just an owner. They're coming in with corporates, with their might, with their know-how. They've built their big corporates, so they're going to help you build these teams as well.
No, I think it's going to, they are all going to behave like catalysts.
Yeah.
Each one brings in some value, whether it's, the owner of any big company, whether it's Prometheus or it's Haldiram or whatever the companies, whoever have come forward to own these teams, I think they bring in some value. And they're all going to be wanting to be personally involved with it. They will learn, the professionals will learn, and then that ecosystem is going to help the players.
Right.
So, one, they're going to economically earn from, which is going to help them go to the next level. They're going to learn from each other. They're going to learn from the corporate guy. They're going to have physios, the fitness guys. So there's going to be a match of who's fitter in the team, who's the fittest in the team.
Yes, absolutely.
So things like that. I mean, I promise you, all of these are going to factor around getting this product right. And I'm very, very positive about this initiative. Even though we've rushed into it, but still I think we'll be able to put together a product which is going to be fantastic. You'll never find that I got enough time. It's like, we used to prepare for exams. We always felt, oh, I wish I had a month more.
Yeah.
But when you start preparing, it's always, you go ahead and pass. So we will pass.
In the world of technology, in the world of startups, they say that if you're happy with the first product that you've launched it too late. And in the world today, I think it is very important to take it to market first and get feedbacks and to be able to evolve along with that feedbacks.
Sure.
Because market itself is moving at a very fast pace, both Indian and global. Today the Indian consumers are actually global consumers. So they are also looking for lifestyle experiences, they are looking at good products, they are looking at sports, they are looking at entertainment. I think one of the opportunities that we have is to make this into a very large entertainment, maybe a festival of golf in India, right? To position it that way, so that you actually build a fan base. Unless we get a fan base, unless we create icons out of our players. Today, a lot of people don't know about the good job that PGTI is doing, the players, the kind of money that they are making. And I mean, people in sports know, but I think there is an opportunity to make a wider audience become aware about it. If a kid in school sees that, oh, this guy is a professional golfer and there is an opportunity to make money, I'm sure somebody can raise a hand like Amandeep and tell his dad, sorry dad, this is where I want to go.
One of the best things about golf is, and people who don't play ask this, you keep going to the golf course again and again. It's the same golf course. It's the same 18 holes. You go early mornings and you do this. You tell them that every shot is a different environment. And the environment keeps bringing changes. I think this is what you said, the timing. I think the timing is never right. The timing is now. But I think there's never a better time than to do the league now. The
Absolutely.
72, the league is getting out there. It's going to be out for everyone. The shots, the environment is ready for us to tee off. And this is thanks to somebody like you who's had that vision to bring all of us together. It's been an honor for both of us that we've also got that opportunity in the group of people that you're building to be part of this, to build and present this out there. I think there could never be the right time or the wrong time. There is the time. And I think we are all very confident that this is the time. 30 days from now.
Hopefully
No,
this
it
is
is.
the time.
And I think, I truly believe things come together for the right thing. I think, as you said, your whole journey, everything has been building up. Even our journey, right? We've been from different fields. I've been in electronics, he's been in finance, so we've been together since school. A lot of people who've come and supporting, we are calling the friends of 72, the league, have suddenly appeared who we've known them, but we didn't know that they could be helpful in this journey.
Yeah.
So I think somewhere this is getting manifested. This is far bigger than all of us. We are all believing that this is something which will get built for the players, for the country. I think from the conceiving of the name to building, getting these right team owners, every day the way we're getting that support from all of us, it's just, you feel right. And sometimes in the game of sports, it's always about, you just feel right on today that I'm going to be making those birdies. I'm going to be taking those pars. And I think that's where, personally, I feel that this is where this team and this everyone is kind of coming together. And I see kids are excited. We hope that we are able to live up to their expectations.
I think it's the right time because it's the time when 175 was made against Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
By our
Against all
president.
odds, right?
So the time is right.
And we've got
You
an
feel
amazing
that it's
leader on
right.
it. And I think one of the big thing which he keeps saying, and again, is he was one of the best team leader, team player, right? I think India's ever had. He was the first captain who did that, but more than that, he was a team leader. And I think this whole format that you've been discussing is also about building the team. If you are able to build this sport together, it's just the start, right? We need to take it all the way to the roots.
I think,
I think if the intention is right, I always believe the team builds.
yeah.
You've seen it in nations, you've seen it in countries, you've seen it in states, you've seen it anything. When the intention is right, you will find the right team being built, and that's how, from a little trickle, it becomes a stream and a river, and then the entire world follows you.
Outstanding, sir. Thank
So
you.
I think 2026 is going to be a very big year for PGTI. I think there is lots of action coming up.
Lots of
Lots
news,
of good
breaking
news coming, good announcements coming, including 72 the league. I think all that is only going to mean good for golf in India and for the world of sports in India, for India as a large. So I think on that note, Amandeep, thank you for sharing your journey with us. And we are thoroughly excited of building this alongside with you under the stewardship, leadership of our President Kapil ji. I mean, every time you meet him, it's like the mobile phone. Through the day it gets discharged. You meet him, it's like a supercharger. He charges you up and says, buddy, we need to get this going. And I think the most important thing that golf has taught me is the back marker here. He is standing here saying, buddy, please go out there. कोई problem है, हम लोग खड़े हैं.
मैं हूं ना.
Right? So I think with that
He's
note,
absolutely like that.
We're going to be sitting.
I'm grateful to you as
No,
well.
no,
I
not
think
at all.
your entire team has been fantastic, and I'm sure we'll do great.
We will have a great podcast at the end of season 1,
Yeah.
where we're going to have the same discussion of what we enjoyed, bringing it to the world, and how we're looking at it and taking
I'm
it
more
forward.
interested in the popping of the champagne.
So we shall be doing that. So thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thanks for
much.
being a
Thank
part of
you.
that. Thank you so
boys.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.